Good morning, everybody. This is Principal Hines. It is time for this week's Character Counts Quote of the Week. Last week, our quote was from Mr. Booker T. Washington, and it concerned trustworthiness. And his quote was that few things help an individual more than to place responsibility upon him and to let him know that you trust him. And the questions that we asked last week were, why might Mr. Washington say that it helps people to put responsibility on them? And why is it important to trust folks for you and for them? And we had a lot of great responses. And actually this week have kind of a weird winner. I don't know how to describe this, but we actually have two classes that are going to walk away with the win this week. But it works out because both groups will be able to share the eagle. So the winners this week came from 7th and 8th grade. And the quote from 7th grade that I stole was this. And I believe it comes from Zane. And if not, if it comes from the whole class, then I apologize. But my information says this one might come from Zane himself. So Zane probably said something like this. What I think Booker T. Washington is saying when he said, without responsibility, then how will we be trusted? Is that we should put responsibility on ourselves so that we can be trusted to do tasks and feel responsible. And that's some really great insight. What an idea to put responsibility on yourself. Why wait for someone else to put the responsibility on you? If you put the responsibility on yourself to strive for excellence every day, then really no one is ever going to be asking you to do anything that you don't want to do that's good for you, right? Because you're willing to take responsibility upon yourself to get the tough things done. And you're putting that responsibility on yourself. And when you do that, no one can hold you back in this world. No one can hold you back when you take responsibility for yourself. And the other quote come from the 8th grade, and I believe this one might have come from Naomi Folkstead. So if it comes from the whole class, we appreciate the whole class, and it came from Naomi, we appreciate your insights. And she says this, I think Mr. Washington said, few things help an individual more than giving them responsibility and trusting them, because then they know that the person has your trust and that person will not want to let you down. Yeah, it's really important when we earn the trust of others that we show them that we're trustworthy, and we don't want to let people down when they put our trust in us. You know, it's a real responsibility when people put their trust in you to get a job done or to come through in some way for them. And if you have to take those responsibilities very seriously. So folks, I think that the insights that our 7th and 8th grade have shown concerning this character counts quote are just very insightful and very mature, and we thank you for sharing. This week, the topic of the week is respect, and our quote of the week comes from Lawrence Stern, and she says, respect for ourselves guides our morals. Respect for others guides our manners. So our question of the week is this, what kinds of personal character traits does someone who has self-respect display? And how does someone who intends to respect others demonstrate that? Folks, I look forward, as always, to hearing your great responses. And by the way, teachers, I want to throw out there real fast. I know a lot of classrooms were doing some history last week into who Mr. Booker T. Washington was. And I saw a lot of evidence in that throughout the school. And folks, I think that's wonderful. It's always a wonderful thing to investigate exactly who said what we're quoting. What a great thing. Thank you, teachers, and thank you, students. Everyone, have a great week.